So welcome to LZH project. My name is Salman Francis, and this is going to be second session of our uh, free Linux course, and this is going to be the security edition. And in this course, we are going to cover a few topics related to how we can check the permissions for users and groups, for file system, what is how we can make more secure our files, our Linux operating system. And if you remember from our previous discussion, we were able to cover some of the basic topics, and now we are going to see some security in action, okay? So, and in this topic, we will see ACLs. What are ACLs? What are basic permissions in Linux? What is aid in Linux? What is how to change the permissions and the ownership of the users? How we can, what are the attributes, the different file attributes, and the special permissions? What is a StickyBit? What is a Umask? And we will then end up our session with very simple scripts, basically the start of scripts. Okay, so as I was saying like earlier, that this is a basic security course, okay? This is very basic security course, but it is informative, of course, for some of you guys. So hopefully it will be informative for a lot of guys, actually. And if you have any questions, guys, so please, you can always write your questions in the chat box. Okay, and you can also you have like you can turn on the microphones whenever you need to ask the questions. Okay, so still we are hoping that we will be joined by more students, but since it's time, we need to start. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen. We are going to take I'm going to share my CentOS box with you guys. Okay, so here's the CentOS box, and you can check as etc CentOS release. It's a CentOS 7.2. Okay, and Dilpreet joined us twice. So anyway, this is a CentOS box 7.2, and first thing what we are going to check is we are going to take a simple file. Okay, so we have like a couple of files over here. Let's take myfile.txt. An ls of ltr myfile.txt will reveal that it has as first dash, this is a file. The first set says that it has a read-write permission, and the third bit is not set to anything. The reason is this file is not a binary file, or it's not an executable file. Okay, for files, if the third bit is X or executable, then this means that this file is a binary file or an executable file. At the moment, this file has full access for the user who created it. And how do you know that which user created it? This is the user. This is the owner of the file and the group. Okay, so this is read, write, execute, or read, write dash means the owner of the file has full permissions. The users or the group of the users in the group have full permissions actually, and others have full permission. So this means that the file has been created with full permissions. The reason is we can also check why this file has been created with full permission. You can always check this Umask thing. Okay, Umask, what is Umask? Umask is a utility, or you can say it's a command or whatever. The main thing is this is Umask is a mask with which the files or directories are created default by that specific user. So for example, If a specific user has a umask of 0000, this means that the directory or the file which will be created by that user by default will have full set of permissions. The reason is that there is a specific number which is 0777. First zero we just don't consider it, but basically it's 777, and you have to subtract this umask out of 777. Okay, so let's say if you have a umask of 0000, what you will get? You will get all sevens, 777, which means that 777 means read, write, execute. Why? The reason is RWX or 421. These all things adds up, 4 to 1 add up to become 7. So read means 4, write has the value of 2, and execute has the value of 1. Okay? So that's why that's 4 to 1 is 7, which means all the permissions are available. So umask of 0000 subtracted from, like it will happen like this: 0777 minus 0000 will result in 0777, means full permission. Okay, this is very important. At the moment, let's check how it works. Umask of 0022. At the moment, it's not 00, 0. At the moment, it's 0022, which means 0777 minus minus 0022 will result in 0755, which means read, write, execute for the like owner, then read and execute for group, and read and execute for others. Why? Because 5 means 4 plus 1 is 5, which means if you go back to our previous discussion where we discussed that read has the value of 4, write has the value of 2, and execute has the value of 1, which means that read and execute. Read and execute 7. Read and execute 4 plus 1, 5. Read, execute 4 plus 1, 5. Okay? So this is how you check the umask or check the permissions. So at the moment we have umask of 0022. So let's create a directory, test dir. And if we check this permission, it should have permission of 755. ls-lb testdir will reveal that it has a permission as we were discussing, like 755, or read, write, execute, read, execute, read, execute. Okay, let's change the value of umask to 000, and we will get all the full permissions. So umask 0000, sorry, umask, not umax, umask of 000, and let's create a directory mkdir test2dir. This time ls-lb test2dir will reveal that it has full set of permission. So this means that we were successful in explaining our point that by changing umask, you can change the default behavior of the creation of directories and files. The same way the file will act if you touch a file, or create a file, test2 file.txt, it will have all set of permissions. LTR, again guys, L stands for long listing, T stands for the timestamp when the file was last modified, and R is reverse lookup, okay, or reverse search for a file. And S2 file will reveal that it has full set of permission. Please note that in directory and file, the difference between full set is that until and unless it's executable, the file will show read write as full set of permission. Everything clear till this point? Okay. Yeah, because you should have taken the basic course anyway of how to create the file, but this is how the easiest way I'm able to explain it. Like, you have to understand that these permissions for every file or every directory you create in Linux, they have special set of permissions. First three permissions or first three set of permissions are from the user who created, or it's called the owner's permission. Second three permission, read, write, and dash, you can see this. This is the permission applied on the group. The third permission is applied on the others, like which people who are not the member of group and who are not the owner of the file, they are considered as others. So that is the reason, like it's just like divided into three sets of permission. This first thing, the root, means that he's the owner or he's the creator of this file. Okay, and it's owned by the group root also. Vikram, is it clear to you?
Yes, Salman.
Okay.
Salman, how you unmask this file?
Yeah, you can unmask it back like umask 0022, and it will. You can check by typing only umask the current mask. Okay.
Right.
Basically, umask is defined in etc login.defs. For example, if we go to etc login.defs, this is the default file. And here you can see somewhere here. This is the default umask 077. So whenever you create something, it's going to have like I need to reboot the system, and it will give you 077. This is the set of permission you'll get from this user. The permission mask is initialized to this value. If not specified, the permission mask will be initialized to 022. If you are not going to initialize it, it's going to set up to 022, which we already have it. Okay. Okay.
But Salman, how you take how it takes the reference of the previous what you say file means after creating file you immediately type umask. That is that means it automatically takes give the reference to upper command.
The main thing is if you let's say if you have umask, you can change umask by typing the umask and then typing the umask value you want to for the next files to be created as.
Okay, but where we are not in command, we are not giving any file name or folder name.
No,
For
no, no.
which file?
Basically, it's not for any specific file or any folder name. UMask is basically it's the way how the default files you will create will get the permissions, or the default by default what permissions directories or files are going to get when you create them.
But
You
suppose I
can
have created 4 files, and how system will know the umask or value of particular file having this umask value? You're getting my point, means.
for every users you can set UMask value differently. For example, if for
Okay.
the user root you have set a default value of, let's say, 0000, any file or any directory created by the user root will have full set of permission by default. It does not depend on the directory or the file. It's basically by default, any file or directory which this user will create will have all sets of permission.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter like how what folder or specific folder. Umask does not depend on a specific folder or a file. It depends on the permissions. Like it gets the permissions whatever you set them to use it for. For example, you give a umask of 000, it will be globally set for that specific user. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. That's the point I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Salman.
Okay, no problem. We have a question like uh, on Kali I run umask. I receive an output of 0022, but default isn't Kali login root. Okay. I If you're asking about like how to set up logins, like when you log in as root, the same default permission, you have to change in etc logins.dev or check for your because Kali is based on Ubuntu Linux or Debian, you have to check where to set up its UMask. Okay, we are not using Ubuntu, and I don't use Ubuntu Linux. Okay. Why I don't use it, it's a matter of choice. I prefer OpenSUSE as a desktop and CentOS or Red Hat as my primary servers. Okay, so now when we have this information about the specific set of permission, okay, all right, got it. So okay, now we will move forward, and now we have this second thing which we are going to discuss is what is a sticky bit. Okay, guys. So the main thing is let's let's check what are the permissions of this directory. But first, before I uh, show you sticky bit, let me show you the attributes first. Okay. Otherwise, you will just get confused. So let's say I have two users. Who am I? Will reveal that I am the user root. If I switch to Salman, this user, who am I? It will give you the user is Salman. Okay. Now let's say I have created a file. You know that root can do everything, right? He's the boss. But let's see what will happen this time. I am going in my home directory and I'm going to create my file uh, touch, let's say secret file.txt. Okay. And I'm going to add some content into this file. This is a very secret document. If I add the content, I have it here. Okay. What I'm going to do is I am going to use this command. It's called chattr or change attribute. I'm going to plus I it. I give this option like you can say attribute of plus I, and I am going to set up. It's saying that operation not permitted. Why? Because it cannot be set by a normal user. Let me switch back to a user root and change this secret file. Okay. Now let me go back, switch back to user Salman. Who am I? Okay. Go back to this home directory. And if I take ls-ltr of secret file, you can see that it's owned by me, like the user who created it. Okay. It's my user and group it's of secret file is me. I should be able to delete this file also, correct? So let's see if I can delete it. rm-rf. I get this error, operation not permitted. Let's see if root can delete it. Root can do anything, right? Who am I? Root. Let's go to user Salmon and try to remove forcefully secret file. Oh, what we have here, operation not permitted. Root cannot delete it. So this is why this is happening actually. This is some sort of magic or something, because root is the owner of all the things and he cannot delete the secret file, which is only created by user Salmon. If you again check, that's normal. You can see that the user and the group this file belongs to is user Salmon. So this is the power of attribute. Like let's say if I create any other file with this user without this attribute, switch to user Salmon, touch second secret file.txt. I'm not applying any attributes on it. ls-ltr second secret file has all permissions, like 664 basically, read write and read only. So, but it's again the same user has created this file. So this time, if the same user wants to delete the file, who am I? I want to delete second secret file. I can do it because it has no attributes. Okay, to check if there are attributes. So this is the power of attributes. Of course, root can easily delete this, but this file you cannot delete it until and unless the attribute is turned off. For example, rm-rf of secret file operation not permitted. But you can cat the content. This is a very secret file. Perfect. What if I want to append or add something to this file? Okay, I can cat the content. What if I want to add something to this file? Let's say is it going to happen? No. You cannot do that. Okay. We will come to this thing later, but let's check how we can list if there is an attribute on a file. ls stands for list attribute. And here, when you enter this command on this specific file, you can see the I attribute is enabled. To disable this attribute, change attribute, -i, sorry, secret file. It's not permitted because it has to be done by user root. So switch to root and change attribute -i ls attr. Now you can see that there's no attribute set. Okay, let's switch to a normal user. Go back to our current directory, and this time if we try to add something, we can easily add to this secret file. Control D, add the content. Okay, perfect. But how can I just make this file like let the attribute enabled on this file, but I want to append some text to it? Okay, how can I do that? So let's check if we are able to do that. Okay, so let me switch back to user root. Home Salmon. Okay. I'm going to put like change an attribute, this time plus A on the secret file. LSATTR of attribute will reveal that there's an attribute with the name of A. It means the I means inode and this A means attribute, append. Okay, let me switch back. Or first, who am I? First thing I need to check if I can delete the file. As you can see that I'm root, rm-rf secret file. I cannot delete as root. Even like with the A attribute enabled, I'm not able to delete it, okay? So let me switch back to user Salmon. Home, so can I cat the content of secret file? Yes, I can. Can I remove the file? No, I can't. What are the current permission sets on secret file? Who is the owner? I am the owner. Read, write. I should be able to delete it, but I can't. Okay, can I add some text to this file? Let's check. Perfect. This is the third line of my secret file. Control D. Can I cat the content? Yep. The third line is saved. So this means attributes can really help you prevent your files from being deleted by yourself or from even the root user. So, but the thing is, like, attributes can be placed by the root user. So you can see that with I, you were not able to delete the file, but and also you were not able to append the file or add some text to the file. But with the -A option, you were able to append to the file also. So that's the power of attribute. Now I will take some questions. Guys, do you have question? Okay, it's clear for Tungnan Kwong. Vikram, do you have any question?
No.
Okay. Now we are going to move to StickyBit actually. StickyBit, what is a StickyBit? It is a special set, you can say a set of permission, which can basically, for example, let me give you an idea. If a user belongs to, let's say we have this user, Sue Salmon, okay? Who am I? Salmon, okay. Now I have a group. Let me check if I'm a like member of any group. Yes, I am a member of group FTP, okay? Now let's say if another user who is the member of same group FTP, he has the same set of permissions as you have, but the problem is if you have created a specific file, he can also like delete that file. Maybe he's angry with you, or maybe he wants to do something bad with you, or accidentally he removed the file. Like he can do that, okay? Because if he has the same set of permissions and he is the member of the same group, he can do that. What basically StickyBit does is it just adds an extra bit of security with which a user who created the file is able to delete his file, but any other user, irrespective of if he's of this like has the same permission or he's the member of the same group, he would not be able to delete the file created by another user. So that's what StickyBit do. For example, let me take you to this example. Let's create, we can create a group, or we already have the group, or let's, okay, we have this group FTP, and there are a number of users who are member of this group: Salmon, Mars, Jupiter, Earth, Venus. They are all the members of this group. So we will take this group as an example, okay? So we are going to create a folder. Let's say the user Salmon is going to create a folder in some directory. Let's say OPT. Okay, a secret sticky folder. Okay, let me switch as root. Secret sticky folder. Change the permission to the folder 775, so all the users have access to this directory and its content. Okay, at the moment, because root user has created it, so users will not be able to do anything in it until and unless I have changed the ownership. Okay, how do I know that root user owns this? We can check that. Root is the creator, root is the owner of this folder. I'm going to change the ownership with this command chown, and I'm going to make FTP user and FTP group as the owner of this secret folder. This time, if I change or check the content of or the permission, you'll see that the user and group are changed to FTP. Okay. Now I can switch back as a normal user. I can go to this secret sticky folder and I can create a file here, and I can add some content to this file with this text written by some. That's okay, perfect. Now there's another user. Username is Linux. He can also create a file. He can also add the content in this file. Okay. He can content Salmon's text, and he can contact or be the content of his own text, file which he created. Okay. Now let's say this user Linux is angry with user Salmon and he tries to delete it. It's gone. Now user Salmon, he is very angry and he comes back, checks that his file is gone. He can delete the same with Linux, but instead that he just created his file back, added some content to the file, and then he asks the administrator or the user root to please help him protect his file, so that other users are not able to delete this file, but they can see the content. excuse me, the administrator don't wanted to remove other users from this group also, but he want to protect this folder. What he does is he just enabled StickyBit. Okay, how he did that? He just went to this OPT and he just changed it to StickyBit by chmod plus t. This is how you set up StickyBit. It's plus t. Actually, it's owned by FTP. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. The problem is I have not switched myself back to user root. So I have to switch to user root. Okay. Now, who am I? Root goes to this OPT and chmod plus t to secret folder. And now, if we take ls-lt-ld of secret folder, you will see a small t here. This means that the sticky bit has been set. Okay. And now let's see what will happen. Switch to user Salman. Who am I? I'm Salman. So can I content linux.txt? Yes, I can. Can I remove it? No. Permission denied. Can I delete my own file? Yes, I can. But still, can I delete Linux file? No, I cannot. Let's create one more file again and check if user Linux can delete my file. I can cat the content, but I think this is the file actually. So let me, yeah, it's not important. File in Linux, you can name, like you can create file without any extensions, or you can create like this file, Salmon can be renamed as salmon.txt.123.123.abc.txt. It will create the file. This is not Windows, my friends. Please come to the real world. Okay, cat salmon.txt has nothing but, let me move back to this bigger file to simple salmon.txt. Okay, cat the content is there. Cat content of linux.txt, yes, I can do that. Okay, let me switch back to user Linux, who was very angry last time and who deleted Salmon's file. This time he's angry again and he is going to delete it again, but no, he is not permitted to do that. Can he read? Yes, he can read. Can he append to the file? He cannot do that. Can he append to his own file? Yes, this is the second line. So that's how StickyBit can help you prevent a lot of trouble. Okay. Now I'll take questions. Any questions?
Salman, I want to just clear my understanding.
Hmm.
Uh, Attribute and sticky bit can set only by root user. Is that true?
Yeah.
And ls attribute plus I will set attribute for any particular file, and change attribute chattr hyphen I can
Uh-huh.
take out the attribute. Is that true? Change attribute.
Minus I, and in change attribute, like lsattr is to list the attributes, to change the attribute chattr, and plus means that the attribute has been implemented, and minus of that same like attribute means that the attribute has been removed.
Right.
And it
So
is, and it can be set by the root user, because we have seen it. Normal users
yeah,
were not
yes,
able to do that.
yeah. And sticky bit can be applied for folder only, right?
Sticky bit is applied on the folder, yes,
Yes, and
on the directories.
which can be used by typing command chmod plus t folder name.
Yes, it's implemented by chmod. Chmod means change mod,
Yeah.
or change the mode of this folder. Okay. Plus T means to add. I want to add. T is for sticky bit.
Okay.
It's sticky bit in the, like, you can say alphabet. It's plus T, and in numeric value it's one actually.
Mhm. Okay. And suppose I want to take it out the sticky bit, then chmod
Minus T.
minus t. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Fine. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. From your side, Tung Nan Kwang, do you have any question? Okay. Now let's go to one more interesting feature of Linux security. It's called ACL. ACL stands for Access Control List. Okay. Uh, I'm back to this PWD prints that the working directory is root, and who am I will reveal that I am Linux user. I want to shift as root. Who am I will reveal that now I am root. Okay. I have this file, test file, and what I want to do is I want to check if there are ACLs, or access control lists, are set on this test file. To find out that, you use get get facle command, and then the directory name. And you can see that it's not showing anything, but what it's showing is that the file name is test2 file.txt. Owner is root, group is root, user have set of permission read write, group has read write, and other has read write. Let me change permission of this file. Chmod, I want to give users no permission to write to this file, but they should be able to read. Okay, so 644 to the test2 file ls-ltr test2 file will reveal that now it's only read, write, read, and read for users or groups, whoever they are. Okay. Now, the main thing is, if this time I use get facle of test2 file, you can see this time the permissions for group and others are only read. Okay. Now, if we give another user permission to read this, let's see how it's done and what happens. Let's say if we want user Salman to write to this file also. Okay. You can see that the user have uh, no permissions to write to this file. Correct? It's obvious from here. Group or others have no write access. They can only read the file. Let's say I want to create a file. Again, I'll go to OPT and or the same file, let's say. Let's say switch user to Salman. Can I read this file? Cat test2 file. Yes, I can read it, but there's no content. Let's try to add some content to this file. I'm still a user Salman, okay? If I try to add some content to test2 file, you see that permission is denied. Now back to root. Add the content to the file test2 file. This is content by root in the file. So he added some content, okay? Can he read it? Test2 file. Yes, he can read it. Now I'm switching back to user Salman. Can I read this file? Yes, I can read it, but can I edit this file? Can I append to this file? Of course, I cannot do that. So there is a command with which you can successfully allow some specific users to do the tasks which genuinely they don't have it. For example, the set of permissions here on this file reveals that the owner is root, group is root of this file, and anyone other than the user root has only read permission. They cannot write to it. But there is a way with ACLs. How to do that? Switch as user root. Set. I want to set what? I want to set facle or set ACL, and I want to modify it for user Salman, okay? And I want to give him permission read write for this file, test2 file, okay? M means to modify, U means for user, RW means read write. Press enter, perfect. Now if I see get facle for this file, you can see that now there's an extra user value here. Before it was only user, then group and others. Now we have two different. User Salman has read write access and mask is read write. Now let's check as a user Linux. Can he do something with that? Not Salman, as a user Linux. Who am I? I'm user Linux. Cat test2 file. Can I content? Yes, I can do. But can I write to the file? Let's check. Cat, I can read the file, but can I append to the file? Or permission denied. See? But what happened if I switch to user Salman? Can I read the file? Yes, I can. Now, for the magic moment, can I append to the file? Earlier, you have seen that I was not able to append. Wow, I can really append to the file. And who am I? I'm user Salman. Linux was not able to do that. I am able to do that. And I can easily cat the content of this file. Perfect. Have you seen the power of ACL? Like you can set these ACLs on the way you want. Like you want permissions for specific file, for directories, whatever you want to do. This adds an extra layer of security and feature, which is widely unknown for many users. Now I'll take some questions.
Salman, for giving permission for particular setup user, you use command chmod, and for
Mm-hmm.
giving specific access to specific user, you use command setfacle.
Yes.
Hyphen m. Hyphen m stand for m
Modify.
modify. Acha. Okay. Yeah. That's it.
Anything else?
No, no from my side. Clear.
Okay. Then, guys, now I'm going to show you one. I don't know if uh, it's what I'm going to show you right now. It's a way how you can protect your machine with like um, intrusion detection system, which you can download for Linux. For CentOS, you can easily install it with the yum command. And for other distributions, for OpenSUSE, you can use Zyper or Yast to do that. The command or the software which we are going to use, we are not going to do it like in full because I don't have enough time for that, and it's a basic class. But I'm just going to give you a simple, like you can say, a starter so that you can work on it, okay? The program name is AIDE or AID, and it stands for Advanced Intrusion Detection Environment, okay? So in order to install on CentOS, you will use yum-y install AIDE, okay? I have not worked on this system with this, so let's install. Okay, let me be root. And I think I will post a video on this aid because it's going to take some time, and it's not that it cannot be completed in a quick fashion. But still, I'll just give you a brief introduction what it means, okay? So once it's installed, you can just go to its configuration file. It's aid.conf. And over here, you can just, what you can do is check for the directories where they have mentioned the directories and files. For example, by default, it's going to, just a minute, let me, yeah, here. Okay, let me open it with Vim so it's more colorful. Okay. Go here, down, down, down. These are the default rules. And you can see here these things, PINUGS. This is very important. Please note that P stands for permission, I node, and number, and please read them, okay, before doing this. Then you come here, and here at the end, for directories and files, over here, you can see that /boot is the directory. Here, next, decide what directories or files you want in the database. You can add your own directories here. For example, I can add over here like my directories. Let's say etc or /opt, my file or home directory. And basically what it do is, once you have added this directory in this option, in this configuration file, it's going to, you need to init it or initialize the database with AIDE dash dash init. Okay, this is how you initialize the database. And then what it's going to do is it's going to initialize it, and then it's going to create a database as per your files or available files. If you are new to Linux, then you might not have heard of Tripwire, but if you are older, you might have heard Tripwire. Tripwire, it's the old name of Aid actually. Right now, Tripwire is paid version and Aid is still open source or free version. It's the same thing. It basically checks for any changes in the file in the current file system. If it changes, it just immediately inform the administrator. That's what this Aid or Tripwire. They're the same thing. Once you have initialized the database is stored in, I think it's stored in /var lib aid. Yeah, over here. You will be able to see a new database file here with the name of something like aid.db, okay, or aid.db.new, something like that. But aid.db is more likely. And then when you are going to, if there's a change in your file, if somebody has deleted a file or somebody has removed a file, and if you run AIDE dash dash check command, it will show you any changes in the file. Okay, that's how this AIDD works, or Tripwire, or you can say the intrusion detection system in Linux works. Clear, guys? Guys, is it clear? Okay. We can move forward now. Second last is I'm going to show you what is PAM. Okay. PAM is pluggable authentication module. It's in etc pam.d directory. There are certain modules which basically help you secure your Linux system. For example, let's say you have a service, FTP or SSH, you have these services, and let's say there are tons of attacks on your, like it's facing on the internet, and you have like, you know that there are hundreds and thousands of people who just want to break your server or just want to hack it for fun or for profit or whatever they want to do. So how you can just, and you need this service, it's really important. Let's say SSH is important for remote operations, for controlling your server. FTP is for file transfer protocol, and you really want it enabled for the user, but you have to put them on the DMZ or on your main, like let's say you have to put them on the naked internet. So how you can just protect them so that at least you have one layer of extra security. Again, guys, this is one layer of extra security, okay? It's not the full security thing what I'm talking about. It's just a layer of security. So what you can do with like put an extra layer of security, so at least you can make your server a little more secure. We can do with this PAM modules. Okay, what actually we can do is we can make sure that whenever the user, any user, try to log in with the user root, let's say, or any specific user, if there are 3 or 4 or 5 like tries which are unsuccessful, the system will lock that user for an indefinite time or specific time, whatever you like to mention in the module. Okay, so for example, let me show you this. In order to, like, two things very important. You, before you do anything, please do make sure that you understand PAM, you understand the directories, you understand the modules. Okay, please don't do it until and unless you are not sure. This is only a beginner's course. Again, this is not an advanced class, so please don't like start doing it on your own. Okay, you have to study hard. So let's say we have, if you want to control specific like service, for example, SSHD, sorry, you can check it that in SSHD, there are tons of like modules. I have used here PAM underscore Google underscore authentication authenticator, so I can use it for double authentication with Google also. So this is not part of the course. But if you come, you can see here there are PAM for SE Linux also, PAM for password auth, and then there are uh, post login. There are all the modules, and they end with .so. You have seen this .so. Okay, and most of these modules basically they reside in etc, sorry, user lib 64 security, and here you can see these all the modules are over here. Okay, so let's say we want to uh, make our FTP server secure and SSH also secure. Not specific service, but we want all the services to be secured with these uh, like DOS attacks or brute force attacks. So let's go to etc pam.b, and over here we have to find system-auth. Okay, okay, here is the system.auth. Let's go inside this. Okay, and in this system.auth, under this pam underscore environment.so, we have to add another auth module, which will make sure that anything, uh, if it's brute forcing our system, it should get denied. Okay, and that is pam underscore tele2. That is the module we will be using. Just a minute, guys. So let's say we will use auth. Actually, PAM has this, if you go deep into PAM, it will tell you that auth means authorized authentication, and you have like this required field, which means it's really important that without it, PAM will not continue if this demand is not fulfilled. Sufficient means it's like it's okay, and if it's for example, it's not necessary. Requisite is necessary. If this condition is not fulfilled, PAM will not continue. Then there is include, and that is optional also. They are also optional. So if PAM is not able to find them, it doesn't matter. But required and requisite, they are important field. Okay. So here I'm going to add this auth, and I'm going to mention required. I'm going to use PAM underscore tele.so. Deny is equals to 3, and unlock time is equals to, let's say, 1800 seconds. So what I'm trying to say is this authentication is required, and this is the module, which is going to check pam underscore tele dot so, pam underscore tele 2, I think. Yeah, pam underscore tele 2 dot so, and deny is equals to 3. It means that after, if there are 3 consecutive unsuccessful tries, deny the user and unlock him for 1800 seconds. Now let's check. And guys, PAM basically take effect immediately, so you don't have to restart the service or anything, okay? Okay, let's check PAM underscore tele2 first. Like without any options, press enter. And right now you can see that there are um, no, what you can say, retries or anything against this machine. Okay, let's try to log in as local user, like SSH. And give a wrong password. Okay, let me first close this Google Authenticator. Okay, it's asking for the password. I'm typing ABC123. Wrong password, Control C. Cam underscore tele2 will reveal. Okay, it's nothing right now. It's not. It has not taken effect. Let me try to go from someone from another machine and check if it works. Okay. Giving it a wrong password. Wrong password again. Let's go to that machine. No, I think I have mistyped something. Okay. I think I'm already using SSHD separately. That's why it's not letting me do that. Or yeah, over here. Pam underscore tele. Okay. Okay, let's go back to that machine. Give wrong password. Okay, that's strange. I think I did some experiment on this machine and that's why it's not working. But basically, you write this line here in this system auth, actually. The file is. I think everything is good. Pam underscore tele2.so. Deny even dry root. Unlock this. It should work actually. But if it's not working, then we can check in another session because it's taking some long time. Let's try to check last time. Okay, so it's not showing any failures right now. But basically what happens actually whenever this module is set up properly, uh, I don't know if it's there is some, I think I did some experimenting and that's why it's not adding or not working properly, or maybe I have added it 2-3 times somewhere else also. So, but anyway, if you have successfully added this one, oh, let me check if this module is here. Cat etc cat lib. Yeah, it's here. But the problem is, I think I'm missing something. Anyway, so if you have implemented it successfully, what will happen is, like, if the user, and I have successfully implemented it, guys, a couple of times. I will try to make a video of it. So you don't have to worry if it's not, I'm not doing it here. I will do it and send you, like, post the link on my Facebook group. So if this is successful, what happens actually, the users are like if they are trying to, anyone trying to log into the system and give consecutive wrong passwords, it will lock that user. Okay? Any questions? Required and requisites are the same. Like, for example, it's they are necessary conditions. No, they are. It's not obvious, but you can work on it. You can check man with PAM, but basically they means that these conditions have to met in order to like go forward. Otherwise, they will just they are not going to pass you. Because, for example, there is a module called pam underscore unix.so, which is responsible for passwords. So if you check that, like if the password is not good, it checks the dictionary and it has some requisites and requirements, for example, and something is required. If you are not going to provide it in that information which is required, it's not going to pass you and it's not going to change password for you. Vikram, anything from your side?
No, Salman. I need to spend time on PAM and AID. No.
Yeah, I can. I'll just try to make a video of it once because I'm going to like stop this free training at the end of this month, hopefully, or
Okay.
at the mid. So after that, I'll be making some videos out of it. Okay.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Last, and I don't want to like make you guys more into more trouble. So what I'm going to teach you a few newer firewall. Okay. I'll just give you a few commands how they work, basically work. For example, in CentOS 7, IP tables, they are not replaced actually, but there's a newer firewall in CentOS 7, and it's called Firewall D. So let me go out. It's called Firewall D, okay? And to check if Firewall D is running, you'll use systemctl status Firewall D. And it's active and it's running, okay? The configuration file exists in etc firewalld/firewalld.conf. You can cat the content etc firewalld.conf. Okay. Then, if you want to check the version of firewall, you will use firewalld-cmd.
Salman, I guess you share the wrong screen. Means
Oh,
the
okay.
other screen.
Okay.
When,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Now is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So again, to check status of firewall, you use systemctl status firewall D to know where the configuration file of the firewall is in etc as firewalld.conf. This is the configuration file. Okay, to check the version of firewall, you will use firewalld dash cmd dash dash version. It will give you the version name. To get the help, you'll type dash dash help. Okay. Now, the main issue between firewall D and IP tables is that you have to use one out of them. You cannot use both of them. Okay. So while using firewall, you have to disable IP tables, and you can disable IP tables with systemctl. What is that? Systemctl stop iptables.service and systemctl mask IP tables. This will stop and mask IP tables. Okay. Now you are completely with firewall or newer firewall D. Okay. Now to check the state of your firewall, you'll use firewall D, that's cmd dash dash state. And it will give you that it's running. Okay, good. In firewall D, you have different zones actually. For example, there's the DMZ zone or demilitarized zone. There is the like private zone, which is your internal zone or the green zone, many people call it. Then there's a public zone or the red zone or the internet. Okay. To get the list of zone, you will use firewall-cmd dash dash list dash all dash zones. And it will give you a list of zones. You can always pipe it to less. And it has like DMZ, external, home, internal, like number of zones, public, trusted, okay? But mostly they are like public, private, and DMZ. To get the list of active zones, you will use firewall-cmd dash dash get dash active dash zone. And you can see that at the moment my active zone is public and interface I'm using is ENP0S3. IP address will reveal that my Ethernet address is the same, ENP0S3. Okay, So to get any service, what services are permanent running, like whenever my system will reboot, what services I am going to run. Okay, so you are going, or they will automatically start. You'll use firewall-cmd and then dash dash get dash service dash dash permanent, which are permanent. Okay, and then press enter, and these are all the services which will automatically start when the system reboots or boots. Okay, now let's say there is an attack going on your system and you cannot do anything. So what is the main thing or main command which you can type in a minute, not in a minute, in seconds, so that you can prevent it from further attack? It's firewall-cmd dash dash panic. Panic is on. Like there's panic going on. Press enter. All traffics coming to the firewall will drop. Okay. To check if panic or this mode, what is the mode of this firewall? You can always query with firewall-cmd dash dash. Uh, what was that to query? Yeah, dash dash query panic. And you can see that the panic mode is set to yes. And to turn it off, just off it. And this time if you query, it will say no. Okay. So once the panic mode is turned on, it's going to like stop all the traffic, or it's going to drop all the traffic. Okay, if you want to check what ports are open for your public zone, you will use firewall-cmd. All the commands start from firewall-cmd. What is the zone? Zone is equals to public. And what you want to list the ports. That's it. And it's telling me that port 443, 80, 161, they are open for my public zone. Okay. Let's say you want to remove some service, okay, from your public zone. Let's say I want to remove this 433. How I can remove it? The same. Yeah, it's going to deny everything. So to remove a specific service, firewall-cmd, and I want to remove, let's say, from zone public, and I want to remove the service which is 443 and its TCP. Oh, sorry. It's not a service, it's actually port. This is SSL service actually. Okay, so if this time cmd dash dash reload means to reload the firewall, if this time if I take list the ports, you can see that it's still there, but 443. Let me check the service. I think I need to remove the service also. Service is equals to SSL. Zone is public, remove dash serve. No, it's not removing it. Let's remove HTTP. I'll check why it's not removed. They're not enabled actually. systemctl. Okay, let me remove port 80. It should work actually. Yeah, now it's removed. Let's remove 433 also. I think I reloaded it, and that is the reason it gave me the error. You can see now it's gone. And let's reload it, firewall-cmd. Because if I want to remove them permanently, then I need to mention the permanent command. So how? It's good like this error came actually. For example, now I want to remove this 443, which came back after this reload. I want to use this permanent switch. Now if I reload, you will see that now it will not appear. See? So that's how you remove the service. To add a service, you can just add it the same way. Just change it to remove to add. Firewall reload and it will come back. Okay, perfect. Okay, now in this CentOS 7, masquerade is different. If you want to masquerade, you need to use firewall CMD. Zone is public. Okay, dash dash add dash masquerade. Okay, and again the permanent command will make it permanent. Okay, any questions, guys? Do you have any questions? Yeah. Yes, Changnan Kwong, I'm listening. Please type your question. Okay. Sometimes you need to mention the service also. Services related to the ports. Because port is something like service is HTTP, okay? So that service you can run that service on any port. So that is the main important thing to remember. All right. Okay, so now let's say I want to show you that on my other machine, let's say, let me share you my machine, which is a SUSE box. And you can see that I can easily SSH into this machine. Okay. And you can see that the IP address is clear. This is my CentOS box. Okay. Now I want to, and the IP address of my current machine is 191. I want to stop this machine to SSH from SSHing into my CentOS box. How can I do that? there's a thing called rich rules. Okay, if you have any questions, or if you want to understand more about rich rules, please go to youtube.com/Linux King, which is my channel, and I have like number of videos over there regarding this firewall. Okay, to deny fire SSH, you use firewall dash cmd dash dash add what rich rule, rich dash rule. I want to add a rich rule. What? The rule is for family of IPv4. If I don't add this IPv4, it's going to assume that it's for IPv4 and IPv6. Okay. Source address. What is the source address? Source address is 192.168.1.191, correct? Okay, and the service is, okay, be careful about these equal to signs. SSH is the service name, and I want to reject it. Enter. Okay, you can see again, firewall.cmd add rich rule. The rule family is IPv4. Source address is the address from where I want to reject the service. Okay. Now, if I go to that machine from where I was able to SSH into my CentOS box, let's see what will happen. Connection refused. Again, connection refused. Refused. Okay. Let's remove that, because we have not added this permanent marker, so that's why we can always firewall cmd dash dash reload. And now if I go back, here, okay, we can easily SSH into this machine. Okay. So this is how you can, and if you want to reject any IP address, you can do this without service. You can just mention the IP address. For example, firewall.cmd add rich rule, everything is okay. Source address is, for example, this, and now you reject it from all the things. Now, like I cannot even SSH or do anything with this. Let's check. See? Destination port unreachable. If I reload it, let's see what will happen. Okay. Perfect. Ping is there. SSH is there. Okay, good. So guys, this is the end of this video now. I'm going to stop the broadcast. I am like kind of disappointed because there were no students. There were not more students, and they have actually they are not able to get this much information. We already spoke for, like, I already spoke for 2 hours. And one more thing that I was not able to perform was PAM. over here because of some reasons with my system actually. Otherwise, this is how it works perfectly. But I promise you that I will make a video for all the listeners and all the attendees. Okay, so I'm going to stop the broadcast now. Okay, and then I will take your questions. Thank you.